Everybody with a check ain't certified. If you look behind, he say you see a murder house. A lot of people that I beef, it wasn't worth my time. Got my
When you come here to Remo land, you see it. It's the niceness. It's the intimacy of conversation with the power players here on CUTS. You know what the CUTS stand for? Culture, Urban Technology, and Sports, man. Now, what can I say about this man right here? This man is a multitude of things in this entertainment industry and as well as business as well. I've known him since, I want to say, 2014, 2015.
About that time, 2014, 15, somewhere around there.
And it was around Ball for Peace.
Ball for Peace,
yes.
right.
Shout out to H2O. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, every time I see him, he's always got his hands on something in the industry. It doesn't matter what type of thing, photography, management, business management. We're going to talk about that. Got my man Korey Pendergrast.
Korey, K-O-R-E-Y.
Korey P. I'm going to say Korey P. I don't like botching people's names.
KP.
KP. You got KP in the bill. What's good, brother?
What's good, man? How you doing?
Nah, chilling. I'm glad you're here, man. You coming to Remo land. You know what I'm saying? CUTS podcast. We're going to chop it up, debunk some shit, you know.
Yeah, for sure. How you been, man?
Nah, I'm chilling, man. I just love what I do here. You know, we come here, shout out to the Gotham Network. You know what I'm saying?
Gotham,
you know what I'm saying? We just come here, you know, do what it do. And, you know, have power players like yourself and creatives like yourself that just come here and really try to debunk, you know, the nonsense or tomfoolery or whatever. Just have those conversations.
Yeah.
But those, the creators, we reach out to you guys and really have it on. You know what I'm saying? So let's get right to it, man. Yo, you wear a lot of hats, man, in this industry. You know what I'm saying? Socialite, photographer, event curator, producer, business consultant, influencer. If you had to describe the Korey P brand in one sentence, what would it be?
I mean, pretty much multi-talented, man. Multi-talented. I have a varying background. I have a degree in computer systems engineering, but
where at?
Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute.
Okay, I got mine in Monroe. I got my computer science in Monroe.
Yeah, computer and systems engineering. But before that, I was in the media industry heavy. I originally went to school for film videography. I started out probably like in 06, 07, 05, 06.
Oh shit, damn, we same AARP in years in this shit.
Yeah, I've been in it for a while. From back in high school, I went to like a trade school, you know what I mean, during that time. And that's when I got the knack for it and started working in that area there. And I'd done everything from PAing on sets to doing, you know, being in all type of television shows. I've been on, you know, a lot of Marvel shows, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones.
Right.
Registered over there in the Marvel universe right now. I met a lot of good people doing that.
Okay, lit.
Yeah, man. So, you know, then went out into public relations, putting together a lot of corporate events and things of that sort, working with brands, AT&T, you know, a lot of other smaller brands as well. So, you know, that's what I've been doing, but I've always had a knack for media entertainment, music, you know, but I've been business minded, you know, technical minded as well. So I try to bring the two together, you know, out here seeing what's going on. A lot of people need guidance. So, you know, I try my best I try my best to, you know, guide people where I can, you know, and it has its ups and its downs. You got people who will go out there, you know, take advantage of you, people who wouldn't, you know, won't listen to you and things of that sort. And then you have people who actually take that and go, you know, take information and go far with it. So, you know, I'm pretty sure you've had your issues and things of that sort before. But, you know, but for the most part,
20 years of contributing to this, man. Oh, right. God, Jesus Christ. Now, I feel you on that. I think, honestly, you know, when it comes to what you said about to take advantage, I feel it's a two-way street. I think the narrative of, the ones that are the managers and the ones that are given the opportunities, they're the ones that take advantage. I feel it's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're one that's coming into this industry, I mean, for me, regardless of where you came from, doesn't matter hood, you know, rich or not or whatever, if you're coming into an industry, a business, you should do your due diligence and research. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter, you know, what type of thing you're doing in the industry. You should do your due diligence and research. But it's like, once again, we're in an era where, it's woe is me. It's a woe is me mentality. Like, oh no, well, I need to tell my victim remorse story and all this other. It's like, bro, sis, No,
gotta plan.
Yeah, plan, research. That's what Google's for. It's there.
Right.
Like research what it is, research what you need.
Yeah.
So definitely what you talking about. I mean, that's what's up, man.
It's like building a house, man. You know, you build a house, you don't just go out and build. You got to. It's called pre-planning. You know,
Yes,
and
yes.
within media, you have what they call pre-production.
Yes.
To where you're planning it out and things of that sort. I think a lot of that has gone out of the way due to the digital era.
Right.
You know, things are so easily accessible now, especially when it comes to music making and even video photography, videography. Even when it comes to like business now, you got things that people can go up quick with Shopify. You know, we could put a brand up very quickly. Back then, you know, you really had to more so strategically plan your steps before you went to doing any sort of a business, music or whatnot, because you had to pay for studio time. You didn't have easy access for that. You know, you had to pay for different, you know, what I would say, traditional channels of, you know, business and things of that sort. Now everything is so straightforward. You got TikTok Shop, you got Instagram Shop, you got Shopify, you got, you know, Twitch now where people can go on to YouTube,
Crazy.
DistroKid. It's
So
very
much
quick.
shit.
So
So
pre-planning
much.
really isn't there. So those days of the Beyoncés and whatnot, I wouldn't necessarily say it's over. I would say it's much more rarer to find now because everybody thinks they can do the same thing because they can get popular overnight, you know, or sell, you know, sell a product. A product can get popular overnight. A song get popular overnight. They don't understand the work and the pre-planning that goes into it. So
Yeah, man, it's just key, man. I mean, yeah, the game changed, but the rules ain't changed. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
I mean,
right.
the rules changed, but the game is still the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you coming into something and it's to make you profit or make you profitable, or for that matter, a product that you have profitable. Yeah, you got to do your due diligence on the research. You can't just say, oh well, nope, here I am. Let me get a camera. Let me get a mic. Let me come and interview people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you got to do your research. Like me coming into this game, you know, I researched, you know, Fat Five Freddy, Sway Calloway, Angie Martinez, Michael Basin, Donnie Simpson.
people who've been doing it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Research star on Buckwild. You know, looked at certain things and it's like, all right, this is what I got to do to be ReemoMeerak. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. You know, and then trial and error and going through things and learning and everything like that. I ain't just coming here just like, oh yeah, well, I can be an interviewer.
That's
Let
right.
me do it.
You
You know, and I'm not going against y'all that do that shit, but you're not understanding. You're fucking up the ethos of fucking media. You're fucking up the value.
Lowering the quality. Lowering the
Oh,
bar.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, okay, somebody come in the room and, you know, I'll just mention a name. Fuck it, Lola Brooke. Let's say Lola Brooke in an interview. But you do some dickhead shit to her. Now, I got to pick up all the slack, plus be me, and do the interview. Like, what kind of fucking fairness is that?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's why when and just listen, no publicist can co-sign about me on the media days.
Yeah.
If I lead off on the media day,
Right.
the value's high.
Right.
Because I care for those behind me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm competitive.
You do as a representation of them. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You're the front runner.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, the competition's there. But in the same token, I'm not going to ask, you know, who I'm going to figure is dickhead questions to rub them wrong or whatever. Because I know, okay, you got to be behind me.
Right.
Or whoever down the line. You know what I'm saying? Because these entertainers are, you know, and figures and whatever, they are human. So after a while, you know, they're going to be like, all right, well, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna start looking at it kind of funny.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, yo, if you do your due diligence and research the person that you going to be speaking to and ask, you know, engaging in high quality questions, you know what I'm saying? It keeps the ebb flow going. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's true.
Real shit. Yo, so at one point, what did you realize that your brand isn't just about photography and, you're more about your influence and your emphasis on business in the culture? Like, what part of your journey did you realize that?
Well, so I went to school, initially left out of high school, went to college in 2008, went to school for a year in film, realized I didn't need to go to school for it. I just, jumped off into the film, started doing production, lighting, audio, this, that, the third, did that for a while. But I noticed that I was very personable, and I also, I'm a very technical minded individual, which is the reason why I went back to school for engineering and whatnot. But I understood, I could not just look at it from a entertainment side of things, but also a business, because it's called business entertainment. You know what I mean? So, I started realizing, being in the industry for that long, seeing the ins and outs of it, and then seeing folk come into it, they didn't really understand how to navigate it. They didn't really understand the ins and outs and whatnot. I realized that I can give my expertise in that area there as well, and help guide folk and help, I would say mentor in a certain way, get to where they need to go. I help a lot of artists and whatnot, guide them, get them into managers and, individuals like we spoke about earlier, put them on, they got on tour and things of that sort,
Right.
certain things, a lot of artists, even beginner artists, wouldn't even know about, and not just even artists, but I would say anybody looking to go into the entertainment industry, whether it be acting and things of that sort, they wouldn't know about. I would guide them on that and, help set them up, point them in the direction, get them going. So that's pretty much, an area right there where I had to branch out into rather than just the media side of things.
Right.
And so that's what I started focusing on a lot more. I've always had a knack, for, music, television and things of that sort. But if you don't really understand the business side of it, you're going to be high and dry, and you always see people get caught up, overspending, doing certain things that they don't need to do. It's about who it's about
Right.
getting into the right channel. So I noticed that I was very good at connecting with people and, brokering relationships and things of that sort. And so that's kind of like an avenue that I've added into, what I do.
Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. I think overall, when it comes to that, it's refreshing. For me, it's refreshing to hear that, because for me, for what I've seen, I want to say the last like 5 to 6 years, even with pandemic, right? A good amount of people have forgotten what it's about, right? In a sense of, like, on a business scale, right? It's like you're sacrificing like business morale for the sake of like numbers and viral moments, and it's like, all right, dude, we still got a business to run. You know what I'm saying? Or even for that matter, influencers, or not all influencers, but a good amount of them just keep like wanting to do shit to change rules and shit like that. And it's like, dog, we still gotta handle this business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that regard, you know what I mean?
You mean that they want to go around the business side of it,
Right.
and just go straight into doing whatever they want to do.
Dude, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just wicked to me, yo. And you and I, we cross paths in this shit. We've been at events.
Yeah.
We probably have critiqued, or for that matter, you've seen certain things and shit like yo, come on, B. Like, what are you doing here, God?
Right,
like,
right,
what's the end game here, beloved? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's true, man. You see a lot of that out there, man. Like I said, you just got to know how to weed out. You got to learn how to take a step back and notice stuff a mile away before it even gets to you, man. So you know how to deal with that, man. So
yeah, how do you balance being the face of your brand while also being the strategist behind other brands?
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's about balance altogether, man. Time management, you know what I mean? Using tools to make you more efficient, with that whole advent of AI and things of that sort, you can more so automate certain things and whatnot. That's what I would suggest a lot of people start automating into putting into the business, is going the AI route, going the digital route. I keep a lot of my stuff in the cloud, Google Drive.
Right.
Now there's different AI integrations and things of that sort. So I that's how I manage my stuff right now. I keep everything digital, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, if you need to, I would definitely say hire an assistant, or
Yes.
have a
Yes.
And there's definitely virtual assistants that are out there that are affordable as well.
Right.
That's just about it right there. You know what I mean? I try my best to be organized. I'm very organized. I have a very technical mindset, so I like to have my stuff organized, easy access and things of that sort. If I have contracts, I like to have them in the cloud, not just on the computer, so I can access them anytime. I can go ahead and update my contracts automatically.
Right.
If I need to, broker something or whatnot, or do any sort of a deal with someone. So that's what that's about, man.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. Yeah, no, once again, it just goes back to, who you need to be in this industry? It just goes back to
Yeah,
that. My
yeah.
career. This is what things that we be talking about here on Cuts, all
Yeah.
the time. These type of conversations, and I'm glad you definitely touched on that. You build strong connections across entertainment, fashion, and nightlife. What's the secret to building authentic relationships in an industry that can sometimes feel transactional?
Authentic relationships?
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends on, the situation, man. Authentic relationships really, just dealing with people one-on-one, face-to-face, man, or even talk to them over the phone, or working with them on a project or whatnot. That's how you really build an authentic relationship in terms of getting to know someone, see how they work in real life, because you can meet someone for the first time, and then, you want to really see how they operate. It takes time to really build authentic relationships. So that's what I would say is just, really give that time if that's the avenue or the, if they have access to something or if they're doing something, probably, okay, if you think it's transactional, how can I barter my services in exchange for your services, or what can I
Right.
do for you, you could do for me, but, without it, being so, I would necessarily say transactional, but keep it personal at the same time. You know what I mean? It's not always about, money up front all the time. It's about being able to exchange services. So, okay, in the beginning, someone may be starting out. Okay, what can I do for you? I might not have the money up front, but hey, I can do this for you over here. I can do a shoot for you over here, a video for you over there in exchange for X, Y, Z, this, that, the third. But you gotta, in order to build authentic relationships, it's going to really take time. You can't really find an authentic relationship within the first week or even the first month of you meeting someone. Like, for instance, me and Haran, H2O Balling for Peace. I met Haran in church. Okay, that's
Fire.
how I met. I didn't even know who he was, what
Where,
he
in
was
Queens?
doing out here in Manhattan, actually. You know what I mean?
Which
Yeah,
church?
that
Shout
was
them out. Shout
that was
'em out.
at Hillsong. I'm not currently there right now anymore, but that
Okay.
was at Hillsong Church. That's where I met him at.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? And we've been friends for probably about 8-9 years now, ever
Nice.
since. You
Nice.
know what I mean? So, but he runs Balling for Peace, and just over time, knowing him for so long, we built a relationship. Now I'm on the team working with them on what they're doing, and they have non-for-profits, non-violence through sports, broken relationships, partnerships with them. So, but that wasn't something that was overnight. You don't just get on the board of a nonprofit.
You definitely built. You and H definitely
Overnight.
built that over time.
Yeah. You don't just get on the board of a nonprofit overnight. That's something that you have to, really build relationships with, and so that's what I will say.
All right, that's what's up, man. Yo, what was one person that really opened the doors for you, and how did that relationship shape your career?
I wouldn't even necessarily say it's one person that's opened the door for me. I would say it's multiple avenues and individuals who've opened the door for me and given me the opportunities. I know for a fact, like when I first started out, I started out small. I started out as a what they will call like a stage hand, and then I worked my way up to doing production and things of that sort. Down in Atlanta, we used to have the contract for the Soul Train Awards. I used to work for a company called Sunseeker Media. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that was way back, probably like 15 years ago. That was like really my first opportunity to really do like live events in terms of what's it called, like award shows, and I was able to meet Earth, Wind and Fire and different artists, and Kel Mitchell and things like that, right. And that was really cool. I met Shaka Khan, and that right there was like an avenue that really helped open up my a pathway for me. And then ever since then I just working with a lot of different other production companies, individuals that you meet backstage, and throughout the process you build relationships with them. One of my good friends that are out here, he's been for longer than me, probably about 30 years. He's done video shoots before. I think he was on the set. He helped shoot Eminem's first music video, you know what I'm saying? And he's been helping put me on, and I've been working with him ever since. So different things like that, man. It's not really just one person, you know what I mean? But it's multiple individuals that are out here who's really helped, who've been in the game long for me, who's really helped open up that pathway for me. So
yeah, that's what's up, man. Do you feel? I want to segue. Do you feel like not AI? Do you feel technology in a way has eliminated mentors? in a way. Like
to an extent.
like it's affected the value of having a mentor. Like for you, like what do you
I wouldn't
feel?
necessarily, no, not at all, because
Okay.
AI cannot replace a human being. No, not at all. I don't think it can replace you. I think it can assist in guiding you in doing certain things, but in terms of that personable experience, AI can't go out and work a job for you and tell you how people's personalities are and who to avoid, who not to avoid, what potholes, this, that, the third. AI is very general, and it's not real life. You know what I mean? It doesn't have real life experience. It can go out and read other people's experience and probably give you a summary of it,
Right.
and possibly how to navigate it. But in terms of a more personal experience and having that person to talk to, I don't really think that that's something that AI can fully replace. Well, I don't know if you think so. What about you?
Nah, I mean,
who are some of your mentors?
Nah, maybe one of my mentors. Shout out to that got me into this. Shout out to my man Doc at Invite Only. You know what I'm saying? He's the owner of Invite Only Studios down in
Oh, I know Doc. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my mentor. Like,
Okay.
yeah, he's the one that got me. Shout out to you, Doc. I mean, I don't want to tell the full story. I mean, I'll tell the story, whatever. It's fine. Cause I used to play a ball out at the Cage downtown at
You
West
used to play
Fork.
basketball. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. Okay.
at the Cage. So he was there. He was
Heard
one of
it
the
was
OG.
nice, man. I gotta see I gotta see your skills still up to the game. I ain't see
I mean,
you. I ain't see you playing at the Bowling for Peace game. I haven't seen you play.
No. I played not this year. I played the year before. That was like I was like that wasn't a great turnout. I mean, I wanted a better outcome, but it is what it is. But he seen me around that time. Around that time, I'm still like planning to play in adult leagues and stuff like that. I'm thinking about overseas, but I'm like, I don't think I'm good enough to play overseas. So then he just came to me. He was like, "Yo, man, you can make a lot of money, man. You got charisma, your energy, you're dope, you funny. You know what I'm saying? You witty. So you should go into entertainment." And that's not the first time I was said in my life. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, growing up, high school, junior high school, and shit like that. It was just I never liked it because I seen the fakeness, and also too, my brother was in the industry.
Yeah, a lot of fakeness in the end. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, one thing led to another. Me and Doc, we had like grown one-to-one talk and shit. So I was like, all right, cool. So then I ended up going to like a Harlem party in Harlem, like a house party and shit like that.
Right.
And I was in the kid, I was being me, wilding, talking to girls and shit, joking and shit like that or whatever. So then I go in the kitchen and get me a drink or whatever, and there's like this kid, he looked like Lupe Fiasco, but it wasn't Lupe, but he looks like Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah.
And he put me on. He was like, yo, I was like, yo, son, like, what do you do? He's like, I'm an actor, bro. Like, word? I was like, you got your SAG? He's like, nah, I'm almost there, bro. I got one more waiver. And I was like, waiver? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, nah, bro, you gotta go to Central Casting. So at the time, before it was Casting Networks, it was Central Casting. You know what I'm saying? I was like Central Casting.
Yeah, I've had my experience with them before.
Yeah, Grant Wilfrey and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, I ended up, taking the day off, going downtown, paid the $30. They took a regular, like, they had the Sony snapshot shit.
Yeah, the what's it called, a little camera.
Yeah, digital camera, took the snapshot and shit. So I think a couple weeks later after that, I ended up on Law and Order. As background actor and shit like that.
No doubt.
And that's why I just got exposed to it, because they had filmed in Grand Central Station at the time. There was a scene they was doing there. So, me getting into the industry, like I said, I did do a little research and find out about background acting, what's the difference in the actors and everything like that. But then I didn't experience that. So that particular shoot had about like 400 people and shit like that. We all running through Times Square, getting a shot and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
yo, that's crazy. You got a similar story to me. Like when I first moved to New York City back in 2014, I kind of, I went through a similar thing, man, because I was still in college or whatnot at that time. I had transferred up here to BMCC, and I'm watching these taxi cabs go by, and the little advertisements that are on the board, and I see something. It was a show called The Sinners at the time, but I think it was Jessica Alba. I think it was Justin Timberlake's wife.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the ads and all that stuff and this, that, the third, and someone suggested me, Central Casting as well. So whatnot. I was like, hey, I got some time off.
Yeah, because it was big. It was big around that time.
Yeah, Central. I was like, all right, man, I'll go
like
check it out.
06, 07, 08.
Yeah.
That was like the turning point of like, okay, well, it's kind of, because remember, it was damn near taboo.
Right.
To be like background acting or doing one-liners and shit like that.
Right.
If you did that majority of your career, you was considered taboo.
Right.
In comparison to now,
Right.
Because, social media, technology,
Yeah, I did that a while ago, man. That was 2014, 2015, around
Right.
that time, 16. I did it for a while. And when I'm looking at that advertisement, and then within a week, I'm on set right in front of, the actors right there or whatnot. And so that was like really my first on screen. I was always behind the scenes, behind the camera and things of
Right.
that sort. But that was my first time really on scene. Then I worked my, way around and got onto a lot of the Marvel sets and things of that sort. And, it was good, for its run and whatnot. I did my thing. I hope you did your thing as well, man. It was fun, man.
Yeah, and I had my
Definitely got
time.
a lot of
I had my
exposure.
times, but I think for me, and I'm gonna get transparent here. I think the time that I didn't understand the industry too well, I thought it was over for me because I wasn't work. Because during that time, like from 06 to like 2010, I was on every fucking TV show
Wow.
and movie you can imagine.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
I used to get photos. People used to text me. Oh, I saw you on TV. Oh, I see
Yeah,
you.
right.
Yeah.
Like the three I can name that you definitely saw me, maybe four. One was Nurse Jackie, season 3, episode 1. My ex, she had showed me at the time. She didn't believe me when I said it. I said, nah, I used to be on Nurse Jackie, and she's like, yo, that's my favorite show. Yo, you lying? I'm like, nah, I'm like, check season 3, episode 1, where Nurse Jackie is and Kevin, they were going through, I think, some issue or something like that, but they playing softball. Kevin's playing softball. I'm dead right next to Edie Falco, which I told, like, shout out to Edie Falco. I don't know if she remembered me. I mean, I got the beard. I didn't have the beard at the time, but she was dope to talk to. Because what happened was it was raining. So, we out there sitting in the shit. And, Edie's mad funny. Like, Edie's like, yo, listen, if these guys don't get this shit on the road, or we don't finish this shit, I gotta get out of here. That type of talk.
Yeah.
That type of talk. You know what I'm saying? So, it was dope. Like, me and like a couple of other actors, you chose to talk to. So shout out to her and everything of that magnitude. And yeah, man, it was a learning experience,
Right.
during that time. You know what I'm saying? But then also to be transparent, things stopped for me in 2010. But
Why
because,
is that?
No, because when you're doing background, well, you kind of know about with background acting. If they use you over and over in a whole lot of projects, it's gonna look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, wait a minute, look, the guy that was in the restaurant, why is he on Blue Bloods as a criminal? Like, it messed up the continuity of the production.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that too well, so I started freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck, like. You know what I'm saying? I started anxiety. I started having anxiety attacks. You know what I'm saying? Because it's what I love. This is what I'm loving to do. I don't want to. I don't want to go back to retail. I'm not going back to retail and shit like that.
Yeah.
So what started happening was suicide attempts and shit like that. Lots of them. You know what I'm saying? Because of the depression. Because I didn't have enough self love.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No,
man.
that's so good. I mean, it happens.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
gotta pray, man.
of course. Of course. But after the last final attempt, you know what I'm saying? I went to see my homegirl. Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Renee, the homegirl. Met me at BBQ's on 164th in Broadway, and I just, phones wasn't out at that time like that. This is like 2011.
Phones?
Yeah, well, as far as like filming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like filming in public and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I just cried it out. And I let her know. I was like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of that feeling this shit. This is stupid. This is dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm killing myself for shit that I love to do. Like, this is nuts. Or whatever.
A lot of people in the industry deal with that, man. Look at Robin Williams. Look at a lot of other people that don't think. What was the guy named Anthony Bourdain? A lot of people, man. You just gotta,
Yeah, say through. But real talk. But stay on what we was talking about. It just goes to show, like, yo, man, you really gotta like research. Like with this industry, you gotta research, bro. You gotta research. You know what I'm saying? Because God forbid you don't, and you get sucked into this shit. Pause. Whatever. Like you get pulled into this shit.
Yeah.
And you get fucked up bad. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know
you didn't know the rules of it. Yeah.
You don't know the person. What person can do shit to you, or what person isn't good for you, because if it's shown that you with them, how connected that shit get, you might get blackballed, you might get canned, you might get all type of shit in this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's all we got to say about that. But let's get to it.
Nah, that's true, man. I like I said, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was a part of my life.
You should have went to the union. I didn't really go to the union because
I was non-union, so I didn't really have an opportunity because I was trying to get into the union. You know what I mean? Busting my ass trying to get them 3 waivers.
You had enough time underneath you, so you should have gotten it, right?
No, right? Well, I don't know. During that time, it was tough. Like, they're not as lenient in a way as they are now. You know what I'm saying? Back then, they were really like, no, you gotta get 3 waivers. That's the only way. I'm like, damn, bro, come on, man. How many more shows you want me to fucking do?
Right.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I look at it now as, back then you didn't have these independent platforms like we have right here. So you have Twitch, you didn't have YouTube. You look at the streamers like the C.U.T.S, the iShowSpeed. So back then, those were more traditional routes you have to go through.
Yeah.
All the time you're spending on that, I tell people now, instead of spending your prime years chasing a corporate position to be on a set where someone else picks and chooses you. There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to be spending equal amount of time on your own platform. You got Twitch, you got YouTube Live, you got Instagram, you got
and
TikTok,
monetize, yes.
And monetize, yeah. Look, C.U.T.S, individual like him back in the 90s, early 2000s, they wouldn't, even now, they probably wouldn't even cast him to be a host for without him having that platform. But he's had to prove himself, and now they'll be inviting him out to do this and be on that show.
Shit, you did in Times Square, that solidified the deal.
Right.
Look at that shit. You shut down prime fucking Union Square.
Right. You wouldn't have had that. You know what I mean? So people like him no longer, and other individuals no longer have to go the traditional route. Like back in the early 2000s and things of that sort, you didn't have that. Now you don't have to waste so many years trying to audition for this show, audition for that. So I'm not saying that legacy media doesn't have its impact, but you can have now as equal amount of impact social wise, like the C.U.T.S and other streamers that are out there. The Cooking with Kaya, she went viral, just like with mainstream media. So people are realizing, hey, look, it's cool if I go on a Marvel set. It's cool if I go on a Blue Bloods or Law and Order. That's fine. There's still a lot of impact that's there, but you can also now have avenues to do your own thing. You know what I mean? And then once you do your own, mainstream media networks and other investors will come in and say, hey, we want to invest. Now we can bring you bigger budgets, saying bring you to Netflix, bring you to ABC, this, that, third. So that right there is why I tell people, man, look, do what you do, and if someone likes it, they like it. If they don't, they'll don't. But you have more opportunities now than you ever had before.
I mean, shit. That's it. All right, we're gonna get to a couple more. And then definitely, you're not getting away from bars or cap. All right.
Bars and who?
Bars or cap. That's the segment game we play. But we gonna
I
get
don't
to
know what
it.
that is.
Now I got you. We gonna lead you to it. As an event curator and producer, what elements make an event stand out as culture shifting versus just another night out?
What events?
Yeah. Like basically, it's basically saying, okay, just besides doing corporate events or just an event period, like what is the difference? It just is, versus like just going out. Like what for you and what you've done and been
in terms of just a regular night on the town versus a culturally experienced event.
Right.
Well, like I said, it's an experience. A regular night on the town is something that's normal. An experience is something that's out of the normal. You know what I mean? So, you have a lot of corporate events that are out there that may do like certain Caribbean themed events and things of that sort. But like for instance, they have a lot of parties here in the city. I know there's one big party called Everyday People. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
like
pretty
them.
big. That's what I would
them.
call like a cultural experience because they're bringing the dancers in. You go there. It's not just you out there listening to music. It's adding in not just music from various other cultures outside the United States, but you're also bringing in dancers to help show a lot of the moves and whatnot that are out there internationally, and bring them on stage for other people to see and experience and et cetera, et cetera. So that's one right there. But we've done and I've seen myself other corporate events, right, that are out there that may do like certain things that are themed on a Caribbean. I forgot the name of that brand. I think it was like Captain Morgan's or whatnot. I think they did a Caribbean themed night with Shensia, and they had they decked out the whole thing. It was like tiki huts and all of that, and it was like you were on the beach,
Those are the
but you
good
were
ones.
in the middle of Queens.
Yeah,
you know
those are the good ones, man.
So yeah, that's what people want to see nowadays, especially if you're selling tickets. If you're selling tickets to an event, like for instance, now you see a lot of artists are in a drought in terms of selling tickets. Ticketmaster, they're having to cancel tours. I always tell people you cannot just sit on stage and, you know, play music and stand in one area and rap or stand in one area and DJ.
Right.
You have to sell an experience. And that's kind of like what you see with like for instance with Beyonce, a lot of her shows. She's not just on stage singing. She has different dancers that are up there, different acrobats. She's flying through the air and all that other stuff. She's selling an experience. And each night she has a different wardrobe on, you get what I'm saying, of different, you know, colors and things of that sort with different designers. So people are always looking forward to the next show. You get what I mean? And that's kind of how it is with curated events out here. You have to switch it up, bring your dancers out, you know, this, that, the third, make it new, make it something that's, you know, people will want to be able to go out and see. So even if you don't dance yourself, hell, you can feel like you dancing and moving by, you're able to see all those dancers on stage and, you know, things of that sort. So that's what it is. You got to really sell an experience. That's what I would definitely say the difference is in terms of like a regular night out and a cultural, you know, curated event, a cultural experience. It's an actual experience, something that you want to go see.
Definitely, I want to ask you, because a shout out to my man Hollywood. We talk about this a lot because we do attend a good amount of events and stuff like that. Do you feel that events now are sacrificing the experience versus for the sake of numbers when it comes to their content of covering?
You said they're sacrificing.
They're sacrificing. Oh, Jesus Christ, I lost my train of thought. That's how I was showing my age. They're sacrificing the experience or the longevity experience versus for the sake of numbers. Like, okay, we just wanted the show viral because we want to show that it was lit. Do you feel that for events that you've attended to, or for that matter, that you helped behind the scenes?
That they're just trying to sell tickets, but
No, not selling tickets. Like, all right, put it like this. Like let's say, not Ciroc. Let's say Nike. Let's say Nike's doing an event. But because they know, okay, we got this in the building, they'll sacrifice, you know, their value or their lineage just for the sake of, okay, we got people here that can make it go viral. You know what I'm saying?
You mean as in they won't market?
No, not market. No, not market. No. All right, I'm trying to try something.
I'm trying to figure out how you.
All right,
what you
I'm
mean
trying
by
to say
that.
how can I figure it? All right, put it like this. Like I've been to events where it was just blah. It was just, oh, you just did it for just doing it.
As in, what made you feel that way?
No,
what
just presentation, a long presentation, just the energy. It just didn't feel like you see the level of difference.
I see what you're saying. You're trying to say that they didn't put as much work into the event because they thought the people that they invited out would make it go viral in itself.
Right. Have you noticed that over the year? Like, let's say the last decade.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I've been looking for something like that, but I'm not going to say that probably hasn't happened. I've seen, you know, definitely events that are out there where you got a lot of lit influencers. I remember there was this one video, I forgot what it was. It was like some sort of an after party, and I think they had iShowSpeed there, and they had a couple of influencers. What's her name? Ice Spice and a whole bunch of different people, but they were all just standing around. Nobody was dancing. It was just the music playing. I forgot what it was or whatnot. I'm not sure if it was the main event or an after party, but, you know, that would be definitely, you know, something that I will say, you know, where they'll have a bunch of, you know, notable people that'll come out, but it's not it's not a real experience. You know, it's not really, the energy isn't there. You get what I mean? If that's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, in that regard, yes.
Yeah, you have
Sorry about
different
that.
Oh yeah, you definitely have a lot.
I was trying to be political to dress it up, but you know,
You
in that
definitely
regard.
got a lot of stuff like that, that has gone on, for years, man. Certain things, like for instance, and I love this show, on MTV, and I still love MTV. Don't get me wrong, but there was, you ever heard of like TRL?
Right.
TRL is no longer in existence, but
Mm-hmm.
as time went on, the energy shifted. Remember they used to have people outside in Times Square, and they used to get excited for the celebrities and things of that sort. And and I remember they did a reboot. I went to the reboot, and
That's when it was Sway. Was it Sway? No, it was. It was.
I think it was Sway. I think wasn't. I don't know if you know. Who
Was
else
it DC? Was it DC? No, not DC.
Was
Young
Demetti on there? I think no. I don't think he was on there. He's still there at MTV News doing hosting.
Right. It wasn't Demetti. It was
What's that girl name?
It was Sway. Oh God, the girl. And it was
no.
wasn't it?
I think Jamila was on there.
Yes, and wasn't it DC for a couple of episodes?
I think so. Yeah, and it was cool. Don't get me wrong, but they didn't.
Yeah, but it was 20 years. They were 20 years late.
But they didn't curate it like how it used to be. You know what I mean, with the fans and stuff like that, and the promo. And the celebrities will be outside greeting the fans. And remember that one time? I think it was. I forgot who it was. Was it Dr. Dre that pulled up and they shut down the whole Times Square? And they had and it goes back to what we talked about before, creating an experience, something that's notable and whatnot. With the reboot, you didn't really see stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you really do see a lot of events that are out there, or platforms that are out there, and it's still dope, but that energy just isn't there the same way it used to be. So they're depending on, okay, we're gonna have this big artist come in and this, that, the third, and it's great to have a big artist, but you still want to build that hype. You still want to create that culture around this. So.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. All right, man. Let's get to it. Bars or caps. So pretty much it's our segment game. You know what I'm saying? Where I speak on a couple of scenarios, and it's your decision to choose bar that you agree to it, or cap, pretty much self-explanatory as cap. But there's no political answer. You have to choose one or the other. There's no both. All right, you ready?
Go ahead.
All right. Your network is more valuable than your net worth in entertainment. Bars or cap. I mean, that's pretty much a bar.
I mean, your network better than your net worth. Yeah, that's true.
That's
because with your network,
you
you can definitely increase your net worth. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a bar. All right. A dope event flyer can make people show up more than the actual event. Bars or cap?
I will say cap.
That's cap. Yeah, that's tremendously fucking cap.
The event will stick in their mind. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're going to remember that feeling. You know what I mean? It's about a feeling. It's about the visuals. They'll remember that more than they would a party flyer.
All right, cool.
Kanye West, I mean, even though he's done his some of his album covers have been straight black. I mean, he could still go and sell out a show in South Korea, et cetera, you know what I mean? So because people remember the feeling that's behind it, the artwork that's behind it.
Mm-hmm. Today's culture, influence is rented, not owned. Bars or cap?
Influence is rented and not owned. I would, that's kind of,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna hear your answer. I got an answer for that though.
I would say you have to really own the influence, but you can buy people or pay people to promote certain and
damn you fucking
and do certain things, influence your brand. That's why people pay money to be on.
I took my Ruger. I was about to go that fucking route. I was about to go that route.
Pay for posts. Hey, let me pay you a couple $100, couple $1,000 to get on the post. They pay. Hell, Kim Kardashian, she gets a check. Hey, I'll post your thing on my story. 50,000, 100,000. People will do it.
You took my fucking answer, KP. That's exactly what.
She owns the influence, but as a brand, you can rent that.
Yeah, right. Most people hire consultants hoping for miracles and not strategies. Bars or cap? That's a fucking bar.
Consultants are hoping for miracles and not strategies?
No. Most people hire consultants hoping for miracles and not strategies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, that's 1,000%
because a miracle is easier than a strategy. It takes more work to put on a strategy than it does a miracle. That's why you see folk out there trying to be the next Nicki Minaj or the next Beyonce. They don't understand the amount of work studio studio time.
Shit, marketing.
You don't see the amount of music videos,
the marketing,
the
and all that
writing.
shit.
Yeah, and then the label does a lot of the marketing. They have a team that's there. That's one of the benefits of working with the label and whatnot.
Hell fucking yeah, shit. All right, what's the next one? The scene today is more about clout chasing than culture building. Bars of cap.
I would say it depends on the person. You got a lot of people that are out there clout chasing, and you also have a lot of people that are trying to authentically build their brand.
Right. All right. Being a photographer puts you closer to power than being an artist sometimes. Bar is a cap. That's a bar.
That's a bar.
That's a bar. Because
as a photographer, or a videographer, or anybody,
anything in media
relations,
yeah, right.
It doesn't matter the industry. You can always navigate around. Now, if you're like an artist or whatnot, you may be regulated to certain genres or certain areas or whatnot.
Right.
That's why you see a lot of artists that are now expanding out to entrepreneurship. Nas, I think he invested with Uber or some other brand, and people are expanding out. Look, you got Jay-Z with Rock Nation going into sports, this, that, the third. So he's looking to put a bid in for a casino in Times Square. So he's expanded the brand to get access to other areas and rooms with other individuals, other influencers, power brokers, etc.
Now that's what's up, man. All right, hold on. We got about a few more. Events are only good as the people in the room, not the names on the stage. Bars of cap. Ooh, that's a.
I would say the names on the stage matter more than just the people in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because even if you do like, let's say a show, let's say showcase, whatever, and you get B-level artists,
right?
But then they can't bring
a crowd,
10 people.
Right.
So then it's like, all right, if the crowd is there, but then they leave, like,
right,
what is really said artists about or their values about? You know what I'm saying? In that regard. All right.
Yeah, that's true. Like, for instance, you look at people like Vibes Cartel. He sold out Barclays Center, I think 2 nights, right? Wasn't nobody there buying tickets because they thought somebody else was going to be there, and they saw such and such was going to be there. There were a lot of celebrities that were there, but they were mostly there for Vibes. They were all there for Vibes. So regardless of who's in the room, they're going to show up.
No, that's a fact. If your brand isn't online, it doesn't exist. Bar is a cap. I mean,
cap.
Come on.
I would say cap.
Really?
Yeah, I would say cap. Yeah, because you got a lot of folk that aren't even online because it depends on your brand. If you're a music producer and you're not online, you still have a brand.
Right.
Remember, Jay-Z didn't have a Instagram or social media, and he was still doing his thing.
Still killing. All right. Authenticity gets you further than analytics. Bars of cap. That's a bar.
Authenticity is better than
it gets you further than analytics.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bar.
Yes.
That's a bar.
But you gotta have both to be, to be efficient.
No, right. But you could have the numbers and the analytics on your side, but when you're a scumbag, it kills your motion quicker.
Right.
Than the lackluster of analytics. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there are a lot of people who are out there that act like that all scumbags that get views and generate profit too.
Oh yeah, well no, definitely, of course. But I think in that regard, for that scenario, I feel that right there is definitely a bar and a half.
Yeah.
Because you can have as much technology as you want. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you're a pure total scumbag, you know what I'm saying? A pure dipshit. That's why with me, when I was like, I'll go back to my days at acting. I never treated the PAs in them like dicks. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, what's up, man? What's going on, man? Yo, I
everybody with respect.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not like, oh yeah, well, go get my. It's like, motherfucker, you're a fucking background actor. Like, you can't just shoo away a fucking PA. Like, it's dumb
That's
shit.
That's disrespectful. Yeah,
wild shit.
And even a lot, when you get big too, you got folk like the Will Smith, and they treat a lot of the people around them with respect. A lot of the folk on set, Denzel, whatnot. He's heard very good to work with and whatnot. He shot that last movie out here in Highest to Lowest, right?
Yeah.
Out here in New York City,
Right.
Just because you're making 20-25 million, you got a lot of actors that are still out there, even as big as that are still authentic, man, still real.
Right. All right, last one, and then we gotta get up out and pay the bills. The entertainment industry is really just high level relationship management. Bars of cap. Yo, shout out to fucking production, bro. Yo, pre-production, we be wilding here on Cuts.
Yeah. You said it's only high level relationships.
No, I said it's the entertainment industry is really just high level relationship management.
I wouldn't say it's just that.
Nah, yeah, but
I would say cap.
Yeah, I can't
because
cap,
it's
man.
not
That's
just
cap.
high level relationships.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot. There's more than that. You got to maneuver and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And just overall, it's for me. I feel is more learning experience on the go. Mm-hmm. For me, I don't know about you, but I just feel that over the years, like it never really was like you sat down and you picked up and you soaked up game and you learned. It was just boom if you're on set, boom if you're in production, boom if you're in the studio, boom if you're in the office. You're in the office, but you're still moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fashion people, same thing. They moving. For example, when I went to go see was the Anna Wintour documentary by R.J. Cutler. Oh my God, what's the name of it? Fuck, I just went to the screening for it last month. It was dope that they showed like how it was working with Anna Wintour, the legendary Anna Wintour. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. Oh, motherfuckers was running around and making sure that shit was perfect for her.
Yeah.
Because God forbid if that shit was not perfect for her. She would have
spazzed
Yeah,
out.
she was going to cook you.
Word?
Yeah, she was going to cook you.
I got to go check that out.
Yeah, that documentary's fire.
Oh, she
I forgot the name of it. It's like, damn, yo.
She wanted them boss babes.
Oh, yeah. Boss, stupid boss.
Word.
Stupid boss. And she explains about, because she used to see from her father.
Yeah.
Her father, what he handled in business, how he was, and shit like that. I was like, oh, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But now, real quick, KP, you know what I'm saying? What you have any what final words you got to say? What else you want to let people know what you're doing and everything?
But I just want to say I appreciate you bringing me out here.
Nah, definitely,
man.
of course, brother. Nah,
I appreciate you bringing me out here.
Yeah, man.
Check me out. I am on social media, KPREN1. Also, I got a social media, KMP Productions. Also, check out H2O's Harang Hargraves platform, Ballin' for Peace. The number 4, BALLIN, the number 4 Peace.
Facts.
And yeah, man, if anybody's looking to connect, work, reach out to me or reach out to Remo and stuff like that. Me and Remo you're gonna be seeing us a lot more.
Yes.
Doing our thing.
Yes, man. You already know what it is, my creatives. We're here for another edition of Cuts, man. You know where to follow me at ReemoMeerak _ on everything. You know we do it here. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, Apple, DJ Chase Radio, Amazon Music. Also, too, catch my platform, Remo's Corner. You understand? Remo's Corner at DigiWax Wednesdays. You know what I'm saying? Pull up the DigiWax Wednesdays. Come sit down on the couch with yours truly, the neighborhood root sprayer, Soji of Hip Hop, ReemoMeerak. And on that note, you already know what it is, man. Hands over the odds. It ain't the one, baby. It's the 2 up. Turn that 2 around, cross it over, Ruger's up. You know what it is, man. We out of here, and that's peace.
Everybody with a check ain't certified. If you look behind these says you see a murder eyes. A lot of people that I beef, it wasn't worth my time. Got my